Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to do just that, to peace out. I don't know if you've had much practice this morning, but I've had some. Right? Every day has challenges designed just perfect for us to learn to peace out and trust God with whatever's on our plate, right? This week's book of the week is 31 Days in Psalm 31. It is next up to be, it's already translated into Urdu. It's one of the next two up to be printed. Hopefully, we've set a date for July, so hopefully we can get that done by July. We'll see how things unfold. This whole Pakistan thing has been such an amazing thing to me, and God just surprised me with it. But it's been wonderful to watch because I can't do it. I don't have the funds. I don't have the means. I don't have all I have is the patience to wait on God, and He has just unfolded it, and it's just been amazing to watch. So grab 31 Days in Psalm 31, written in the cave, if you feel like you're living in a cave. So I wrote it from, it's not really written for caregivers, but as a caregiver, I've lived in a cave. So I wrote it from that emotional place, identifying with David and some of the things David said, and just reaffirming that God is with us, even in the back of the cave, which is kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So I was thinking, okay, so yesterday I got this really cool gift card for doing a survey. It was a health survey on either migraines or something, I don't know, but it was a gift card. So I go to Amazon, I go to order some socks. I needed some socks, right? And it was socks, and then there was something else I was ordering, maybe for Chris or something. And I've noticed this 2 or 3 times. When I go to order something, especially if it's clothing of some sort, it will say this at the bottom, based on, like, I think it says thousands of shoppers, you need this size. And I'm like, how can you base my size on what thousands or millions of other shoppers buy? My size my size is weird, and it's, just fat. Yeah, so it's not that hard to figure out. So maybe that's what it is. But it just says, based on all these other users, this is the size you should order. I'm like, you can't base what I need to order on millions of other users. You need to base it on me, right? I'm like, this is AI gone bad, right? When it comes to clothing, you don't order a size. Let's see, what's everybody else wearing? Oh, it's small. Let's go. That's not going to work, right? I'm not going to be able to get the socks on my feet if I go too small. I'm not going to, it's just a disaster waiting to happen when when it's based on all these other users. You probably need to order this size. And I was like, that is so messed up that you base my size suggestion on everyone else. So I started thinking about that. And I was like, I know there's probably a lesson in there somewhere. I kind of chuckled and thought, okay, what size do I need, right? And so it's kind of funny and it's kind of not, right? Because do people really use those? Do they use that advice? They're going to order a size that doesn't fit them just because everyone else orders that size. That's not cool. So I started thinking, I was like, man, I am so glad that grace is custom fit. We don't have to worry about coming to God today, and God says, well, everyone else is asking for this, so I just assume you need this. And you're going, no, I don't. I got you. You took care of that yesterday. Maybe everyone's praying for their parents today. Well, my parents have both passed, so that's probably what I'm not going to be praying about this morning, right? And so he doesn't. When we come to him, he doesn't say, okay, I already know what you need, although he does, but he doesn't. It's all custom fit. And so then I tried to marry these two scriptures together. Let's see if it'll work. Because what I was thinking about was Hebrews 4:14. In the New Living, it says this, so let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. I like that right there. We could just camp out there. Just let us come boldly before the throne of our gracious God. He's gracious. We can come before Him. He's waiting for us. How cool is that, right? And so, anyway, and then it says, there we will receive His mercy and we will find grace to help us when we need it. We come to Him for that grace for whatever we're going through, right? He's got the grace for when we need it. So I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure these two scriptures are more similar, maybe in the King James Version even, because then that made me think immediately of Psalm 46:1. I've held on to this scripture for so many years. God is our refuge. He's our strength. He's a very present help in time of need. Now, in the New Living, it says, God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of need, in times of trouble. And so I kind of married these two verses. We can come boldly before the throne of grace and find, or before the throne of mercy and find grace to help in time of need. And God is a present help in the time of trouble. And so I started thinking, and I thought, when David was standing before Goliath, all he needed was a stone. God was with him. God delivered Goliath into David's hands. He didn't part the Red Sea for David because David didn't need the Red Sea parted, right? He wasn't even at the Red Sea. What would it be like if David's standing before Goliath, and give me some liberty here, I'm a little goofy, and this just struck me as really funny. What if David's standing before Goliath with a stone going, okay, God, I'm trusting you to take this giant out. And God goes, oh, watch, I can part the Red Sea. Watch, this is really cool. Thousands of users asked me to part the Red Sea. I'm going to part the Red Sea for you. David's going, that's great, God, but I'm facing a giant here. I'm not at the Red Sea, right? And so he got his miracle, but it wasn't the Red Sea crossing on dry ground, right? Or what if Daniel's in the lion's den? He needed God to close the mouths of lions. He didn't need a rock, right? He didn't need a Red Sea parted. He needed God to shut the mouths of the lions. And what if God had said, well, thousands of users asked me to take out the giants today? And God's going, and Daniel's like, well, there's no giants down here in the lion's den. It's just big lions, right? And so God didn't meet their needs based on thousands of other requests or millions of other requests or quadrillions of other requests. He met their need for what they needed in that moment. And that's why I titled today, Custom Fit Grace. God gives us the grace we need to face whatever we're facing each and every day. He's not going to give us the grace to cross the Red Sea because we're not even standing on the banks of the Red Sea, right? And if we are standing on the banks of the Red Sea and that's what we need, he's going to meet us there. If we need peace for today, he's going to give it to us. If we need wisdom for today, he's going to give it. If he's going to, whatever we need, if we just need comfort and we just need to curl up in a ball with a cup of coffee and a blanket and let God hold us, that's what God can do today. He's not going to meet us he's not going to take out the giant unless we have giants, right? What good would it do if he told Moses, I'm standing on the brink of the Red Sea, and God's like, oh, this is great. I can take out a giant. I can take him down. I can anoint a stone to go right to his head, and he's going to come right down. And Moses is like, well, I've got 1 million people behind me, and we kind of need to get across the sea right now. The giant thing is great, but I need to cross the Red Sea, right? And Noah needed an ark. Right? He needed to survive the flood. He had a different need. Each of our Bible heroes had a different need, and God had the grace to meet that need. It wasn't based on millions of other users, millions of other inquiries, millions of others' prayers. It was based on what they needed in that moment. And my point is this: God meets us in the moment. He's here for us right now with the grace we need for whatever we're facing. It's a custom fit grace. It's custom fit to our problems. It's custom fit to our prayers. It's custom fit. It's not based on everyone else. It's based on what we need and how much we ask God to intervene and how much we allow him to bring change and to bring his grace into our lives. He gives us that grace to help in time of need. And then it's up to us to apply that grace. That's what one thing I want to make sure I do in my books and in my Bible studies and my blogs and even in the devotionals is I want us to know that this is applicable. And it's not just even though it's broad-based, it's very specific and precision-oriented. He can touch that part of our heart that we give him, and he can bring that grace to the area we need it right now. Isn't that amazing about God? I love that about him. That's amazing. Because I got different needs. I got weird needs. I'm not even going to tell y'all what they are. Right? You guys, peace out. Have a great day. I won't see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'll see you bright and early Monday morning. Have a great weekend.